Mexico is a large source and destination country for men, women, and children subjected to trafficking in persons, specifically forced prostitution and forced labor. Groups considered most vulnerable to human trafficking in Mexico include women, children, indigenous persons, and undocumented migrants. Mexican women, girls, and boys are subject to sexual servitude with the United States and Mexico, lured by false job offers from poor rural areas to urban, border, and tourist areas. Mexican trafficking victims were also subjected to conditions of forced labor and domestic servitude, street begging, and construction in both the United States and Mexico. The vast majority of foreign victims in forced labor and sexual servitude in Mexico are from Central America, particularly Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador.
Chabelita is a playful child. She can't remember how old she was when she saw her father kill her mother in a remote indigenous town in Guatemala. That was only the beginning of her tragic ordeal.
Me secuestraron.
My uncle kidnapped me when I was 6 and took me to Cancun. Some men would call him up. They paid him to harm me. I tried to escape, so they locked me up in my uncle's room. And in there, they harmed me too. There was a lot of men.
De Cancún.
Mexican authorities believe Chabelita was sexually abused for a period of 2 years before she managed to escape.
Me llevaron a un lugar que está lleno de piedras.
They took me to a place where there were a lot of stones. I took one and hit the man that was touching me. I kicked him and ran. I walked for many days without eating.
Many transit Mexico en route to the United States and to a lesser extent Canada and Western Europe. However, trafficking victims from South America, the Caribbean, Eastern Europe, Asia, and Africa are also found in Mexico, and some transit the country en route to the United States. Mexican men and boys from southern Mexico are found in conditions of forced labor in northern Mexico, and Central Americans, especially Guatemalans, are subjected to forced labor in southern Mexico, particularly in agriculture. Child sex tourism continues to grow in Mexico, especially in tourist areas such as Acapulco and Cancun, and northern border cities like Tijuana and Ciudad Juarez. Stop child trafficking in Mexico.